What's going on, YouTube? So I thought I would do this video before I go to bed. It's been a long day. But before I do that, um, I just want to first and foremost, thank special thanks to Zachariah Williams. He's been donating to me on PayPal like crazy. I appreciate it, brother. Every little bit helps. You're the most consistent donator right now. I don't push anybody to tip me for producing this content, but I certainly appreciate the financial support that you guys give. Like I said, every little bit helps, and I truly appreciate all of my supporters, including my special supporters, my financial supporters, both on PayPal and Patreon.com. Speaking of Patreon.com, I'm a little far behind, but everything that I promised you guys, I deliver on. All the live streams I've promised you, I delivered on. The videos I promised you, I delivered on. Um, I'm in the process right now. There were a couple more videos, including this one, that I want to get out of the way. Every day something's always fucking developing. Um, but I'm definitely, for those of you who are my paying patron members, I want to apologize. I haven't, it's more than 2 weeks past, and I still haven't gotten my first Audible blog off, and I owe you guys four before the end of this month. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I get four off this month as promised, and I'm going to start working on that tomorrow. I'm headed up to Chicago on a business trip tomorrow, but I'm probably going to have a lot of downtime in between the tasks that I have to complete. So I'm gonna be working on those blogs for you guys. Plus, there's a couple other videos that I want to get to. So it's like, yeah, at least two blogs, and there's like two videos. With this new Record Master app, that's another thing. For all of you out there who are content creators, make sure you go to the Google Play Store and download this Record Master app. I think they have it on Apple Store too. It's an awesome app. It helps me produce videos like seriously 5 times fucking faster than on PowerPoint Director, which is an absolutely magnificent um, um, Android movie maker. But it's more like actually producing a movie, where this is, I I guess, less quality, but it's basically just like recording your screen and recording the audio on your phone. So it helps me, just upload shit. I ain't gotta convert nothing. It's really an awesome app. Now, to the subject matter at hand, hence the title of this video. Many of you may have recalled I uploaded a video a few days ago about why I had an issue with Nipsey Hussle being put at the forefront by the mass media and social media and all of these black bimbos, including these feminists and femtards, as the representation, the core representation of what a real black man is. And I got a lot of support and a lot of love from that video, which I didn't expect. I actually expected in the negative. But there were some idiots on there that were um, hitting talking points similar to the likes of Synthetic G. And for those of you who don't know, Cynthia G has been on a tear over the course of the last month. I mean, everybody knows that this bimbo is mentally ill, insecure, low self-esteem, fucktarded. But she's been on a rampage, verbally thrashing educated lames. And she did one live stream about educated lames and why they're at the bottom of the totem pole or something like that in the dating game. And then she did a video right behind that entitled "Who Needs Educated Lames?" And I didn't watch either of those, neither the stream nor the video. I caught like a small portion of the stream that somebody shared with me. But I mean, if first of all, before I even go into this, if that right there doesn't let you know the disingenuousness of these whores when it comes to talking about where the good black men, why don't black men protect us, why aren't black men developing or building anything in the black community. That right fucking there just lets you know. Here's a female who's always complaining about beta male coons and how black men are dominated by, white and other races of men. How we're not a global force to be reckoned with, corporately, militarily, or otherwise. She gets pregnant by a man with 5 kids, okay? And then she turns on educated lames. And I realize now, a demented female of her age, the reason why she's turning on educated lames is because back when she was, in those throwaway um model, runway shows, and she was escorting for white men and all that ratchet stuff that she was doing, basically online hoeing and whatever else she was doing back then. The very educated lames that her and black women in her circle and at her level passed up when she was in her prime, nowadays, they don't want her ass. And so that's why she's speaking out against educated lames. And you had people that were mimicking her talking points, a handful of them that I had to cuss out, block, and delete on that video that I made about Nipsey Hussle. Now, in regards to this term that I keep fucking hearing, educated lames. First of all, we know that this is a term that these ridiculous, ass backwards mentality, dysfunctional, salty ass, bitter ass, black feet, man hating ass, or I'm sorry, black man hating ass, black bimbos came up with. Okay? I had to correct one brother about that, and I think he was a regular on my comment section. I told him, educated lames is just a term that black feminists came up with to demean and degrade black men who act like they actually have a fucking brain in the black community and aren't caught up with all that stupid mess. And the reason why they're lame is not because they're educated or not because they're blue collar, because the educated lame, you have to understand, ghetto vernacular and black fight bot vernacular. An educated lame is not necessarily a black man who has a college degree. It's a black man who is a stable man, meaning a stable job, a stable home, even a stable family. Everything that most of these bimbos cannot get, have not had, and will never have. He's lame to them, the ones over their 30s, because they're angry that most of these guys aren't checking for them. And a lot of them are SYSBM or Red Pill or MGTOW or my new movement that I'm starting, Marlboro Man. We don't give a fuck about these females, these former thoughts, and some of them current thoughts. It's so bad for a lot of these females now that you have females still in their 30s, 40s, and 50s going to the club trying to attract dick. Looking for dick, number one, in all the wrong fucking places. Clubs, bars, the streets, online. Everywhere and anywhere but where they should be looking for. These men are right in their fucking face every single day. It wasn't until this term came out that it occurred to me just really how disingenuous a lot of these black females on ScrewTube are. Because it occurred to me that while we talk all the time about, the issues with the black degenerate in black America, there are many, many well-to-do black men, okay, that are professionals, blue collar, white collar, they're skilled in the trades, they're civil servants. And on that note of being civil servants, one of the things that I kept fucking hearing from these idiots that were rebutting me, trying to rebut me about Nipsey Hussle, is that they kept saying that, yeah, but, Nipsey Nipsey, he gave back to his community. He was trying to build in his community where the educated lame, that black man, he just runs out of his community and gets him a white woman. See, this is why first of all, I only associate myself with certain content creators on YouTube when I do live streams. Okay. This is why I block people daily. Okay. This is why I don't waste my time arguing with people, because black people, there's a certain segment of Negroes that loves to say stupid shit that they know is not true. Hence the title, Disingenuous. And what I found particularly disturbing was that most of the people who I had to block off that Nipsey Hussle video, the last one that I made, that made this stupid ass argument that black men who are considered the educated lame, meaning the black man that can hold down a job and fill out a fucking job application and spell his name, and his name don't start with Dequarion, are running away from the black community. That just shows you how stupid these niggas are. Because if you go in any inner city or any suburban black community, it is flooded, it is inundated, not only with these socially inept, cerebrally malnourished degenerates spawned by these baby mamas, it is also inundated with civil and public servants that are black men. Think about this. It doesn't matter what part of the country you go to where there's a predominantly minority, predominantly black population. There are black men who are lawyers, bus drivers, police officers. When you go to get your car, when you go to get your car fixed at the local mechanic shop, unless you're going to go to, one of those corporate store chains, you go to, just the local, hole in the wall mechanic in a black area. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be a black mechanic just working on your car. When you get on the bus to go to school or work, the city bus, more than likely, that's going to be a black person, and there's at least a 50% chance it's going to be a black man driving that city bus. I think, what did they say, in the city of Chicago alone, like 65% of bus drivers are black. And I think out of that, like 49% of them are black men. When you send your kids to get on the school bus in a black area, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be what? A black person driving that school bus. And a good percentage of them are black men. You have black male librarians, black men who work in construction, building things, even in these hoods. You have, when people go to pick up your garbage in a black area, there's a good chance that it's going to be a black man that's jumping off that truck, grabbing your shit and putting it in that compressor. That's a story that leads back through history towards the end of the civil rights movement, the last victory that got Dr. King assassinated, so we were told. The black man garbage worker strike, where they were walking around talking about "I'm a man." That was a black section of Memphis that Martin Luther King went to do that march before he was gunned down. When you go to order an Uber or a Lyft, it used to be a taxi, but when you go to order an Uber or a Lyft in a black area like Detroit or Chicago, like on the south side of Chicago, more than likely it's going to be black men that live in your neighborhood, in or around your neighborhood, in or around in surrounding suburbs or neighborhoods, that's going to come and pick your black ass up. Your kids, when they go to these public schools, more than likely there's going to be black educators, male and female. When you get sick or somebody in your family has a medical emergency, yes, of course, there's, mostly white paramedics, But in black areas, you're more liable to see a black male paramedic that works for the fire department or an independent ambulance company coming to pull out the stretcher and stabilize, your family member or your neighbor or even you and put you in the ambulance and take you to the hospital. When you stand before a judge in Cook County, specifically in Chicago, or, any place, it could be Houston, Texas, New Orleans. It could be a white judge, but there's a good chance if it has a predominantly large minority population, there's a fair chance that you could stand before a black male judge, like the one serving on the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas. When your mail is delivered, I can't remember the last fucking time even when I used to live with my parents so many years ago, and even now when I go up there to visit, okay, in the Chicagoland area, even in suburban Chicago, South suburban Chicago, I can't remember the last time I saw a white mailman in South Chicago, in that neighborhood that I grew up with. It's almost all black men delivering the mail for the U.S. Postal Service. Why? Because the U.S. Postal Service is going to hire the people, and um they're going to appoint the people that live in that general area to run those routes. Why the fuck would they pick somebody from Skokie, Illinois, to run a route down in fucking Crestwood or fucking Dalton, Illinois, like fucking 30 miles away? When the power lines go down because of, some storm, or some squirrel, gets fried, walking on the lines too close to the conductor, who's gonna be there, getting up in that little cup, that safety cup on that truck? I forget what they call them, going up there to fix those power lines. Who's gonna be doing that? There's a pretty good chance it's gonna be a black guy from around that area that electric company hired, and he's gonna be repairing those power lines. If you have a problem, put specifically with the electrical current in your house, and it's the you know electric company's fault, they're likely going to send a black lineman there, a black electrician to check your shit out. You have a problem where your toilet gets stopped up in a black area, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a black plumber that comes to fix your shit. When you call 911 because some weave rats are fighting outside your door, or you heard gunshots, if you're in a really deep black neighborhood, inner city or the suburbs, either one, you're going to have a mixture of both white and black police officers, mostly black male police officers, coming to the scene, cordoning off the scene, investigating, searching for suspects, searching for clues, searching for evidence, interviewing witnesses. There's a good chance, if you're in a black area, you're likely going to go to a local attorney firm if you have some legal problems. It could be a white person or a Jewish person, yeah. But there's a good chance if it's a black area, you're likely going to find some black lawyers there to represent motherfuckers. As a matter of fact, the public defender's office has in Cook County alone, has a very good number of black male lawyers on their team. When the roads get broke up because of weather, or some automobile accident, or just wear and tear, who's there holding that stop sign and that slow down sign, while other guys are over there, pouring down new tar or whatever that shit is in the little holes and cracks, sealing it up in black areas, predominantly black areas? Black men. When you go to any of these inner city hospitals, you're going to have a mixture of white and black nurses, mostly black nurses, and you're going to see a good number of black doctors there too. Yes, some of them are going to be black men. So my point is, I don't want to hear shit about how educated lames don't give back to and they don't stay in their communities. Because these good black brothers are in the communities, contributing to their communities, protecting their communities, taking care of their communities every single day. The very fools that are saying stupid shit like this see these men performing in civil and public service every single day. But they want to pretend like a Nipsey Hussle is the only motherfucker that's doing something to give back to the community or doing something to contribute to the community. Remember, a community is a group effort. And while we're not getting a lot of cooperation from these niggas, there are those of us that care to serve our communities. And we do it every single day, year in and year out, decade in and decade out. From Milwaukee to Dallas, from New York to Los Angeles. So don't let these fucking fools hit you with that fucking lie about good black men, aka educated lames. The only lame are the bimbos on Instagram giving birth to these damn degenerate spawn that are making a mockery of the very community that the men in this collage are trying to help. Talk to you later, guys.